oftentimes we feel like we have to do everything by ourselves. And people can't help you if they don't know that you need help.
You need help.
It's very hard to post online when you're not okay with who you are. I said to my best friend that that's the most depressed I've ever been. I'd moved out of Spanish Town by this time, so I was living on a friend's sofa in Legani somewhere. No man, Ramon. You have to make a change. And the 90-day thing forced me to get to a point where I was just like, this is me. Do I want my community to see me as a perception of myself, or do I want them to see me? Because if you're not okay with me, you shouldn't be in my community.
That's it. You know, it's your boy Jovi, Mr. Royalty, back again with another quality. Well, as you know, this is a place where you come to stay, where lives are being changed and impacted each and every day. Now, today I'm not alone, and I'm continuing on my podcast where we're speaking about things that, you know, a lot of persons shy away from. I'm here with my guest, Ramon. Welcome, my brother.
People.
Yeah.
My first time here. Thanks for having me.
Indeed, blessings, man. Yeah, man, I really appreciate the time coming out, you know. We know each other from years now.
Long time.
We grew up like little brothers. Time, you know, I have a question which I just want to put out there to you. The saying that good guys always finish last. Yeah, what do you think about that?
Well, I think a lot of bad guys think they're good guys.
Expound on that, let me see.
Because I myself used to consider myself a good guy. I don't think I'm a terrible person, but I'm a lot more self-aware now. Because I know for me, I would hear girls complain about all these things that guys are doing to them, and you know, and how him cheat on her and him do this, and he's like, I would never do those things. If you were with me, I would. But them not there with nobody. They never been in a situation. They don't know, and a lot of times these good guys finally get the girl, and then do the same exact thing, but them say, I would never do that.
Yeah, follow you.
But when it comes to them finishing last, and it's really they don't feel like the girls pick them.
That's right. Come on now.
And the issue isn't how good or bad the guy is. The issue is the confidence.
So you're saying, in other words, that most men who they consider themselves as nice guys don't really have the confidence like the guys who we consider as bad guys. So that's why they end up finishing last.
I have a saying for speaking to women, and it doesn't just apply to women. You know? But for women specifically, it's be direct in speech and thoughtful in action. But what a lot of men do, shy guys, which I consider myself one of them.
Really? I know I'm not really see as a shy guy though, bro.
That's okay. It's because of this saying. It's because oftentimes the good guy will beat around the bush.
Yeah. That's
he won't want to come direct and say.
No, come direct. You're right. You're right. You could have said it any better.
Exactly. And so for a woman now, it's like, does he really want me?
Yeah.
Does he? Because if he wanted me, he would have come to me and said that. And so the guy's expecting the girl to know, be the one to be confident. But that's not what a relationship is. A relationship is built on communication. So if the initial communication, you can't do that initial communication, what faith does this girl have in you know that it would be a good relationship if you can't just communicate how you feel?
Yeah. That's where you're coming from. So that contributes as well to why them end up coming last. And so females, we see why you don't really give them the opportunity. And you're right, you know, bro. It's like sometimes I sit down and I say, we always try to do the right thing. And some women just want some roughness. They want to hear you just talk to them in that stern way, you know. But we try to be too cute, too nice, too soft, and that's the next thing they associate with the good guys, that you're soft. And that's something that, you know, I think that for me, I think that men who are quote unquote good guys, they really finish last based on some of what you mentioned. But guys who are considered as good guys, they try to follow the books. So what they say that you should do as a good guy, that's what you're doing. So you don't try to break things and do it a different way. So you end up a get knocked. Yeah? So I just wanted to hear your opinion on this too. So you can drop it in the comments so we can know what's your thought on that. You know, so going a little bit deeper, bro. You know, growing up, you had, for me, I have a nuclear family, I have family with both mother, father growing up. Was that what you grew up into as well?
And grandma.
And grandma.
And grandpa sometimes.
Yes, it is.
And auntie for some years. So it was a in and out kind of extended family, I guess.
Yeah.
But the nuclear family was the core.
Yeah.
Where you had all these other cast members that would come in and out of the house from time to time.
What was it like in that household?
Well, you see, for the most part, the women outnumber the men in the household.
What a something.
And so it taught me a lot about just hearing people out. It taught me a lot about patience.
Yeah.
And then a big part of it was seeing the extent that a mother will go for her children. Because growing up, I would be at the office with my mother like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm under the desk sleeping, and she's there working. You know, so you know, but they don't know.
Yeah.
My father was disabled for most of my life,
Yes.
so he was in a wheelchair for a good portion of my life. So mommy was the breadwinner.
That's right.
And so hours, late hours, she's at work working. She had paid 2 school fees. She had feed the whole house. Wow. And so it really set an example in my mind of what hard work is and like working towards what you want. And then also not just working for yourself, but working for the people you care about. Because that's something I've definitely taken into my life today. It's if the people I care about need me, I'm gonna be there.
And because of what she instilled in you from that time, that's what you have carried throughout life, So a lot of people see you and they know that, oh yeah, you're the guy that plays, you sing, and they may think that you have everything easy because some persons may look and they say, hey, you have both parents, and they might not have known that you had a father who, was disabled, and your mother was really the one to take up the mantle. And, that priest, they say we as men should be priests, provider and protector. But you having not getting that time with your father because, he's not able to move around with you, has that affected you in any way?
Definitely. So in so many ways, and the older I get is the more glaring it is. When I was younger, I remember specifically we had moved from Constant Spring to Spanish Town, and our neighbors, coincidentally, the husband of that family who lived beside us was friends with my mom, and so we had a good relationship with them. And I remember one day I was in the backyard. Our house was being built, so as at Picnic, you run through the foundation and
naturally.
Man,
we know, trust me.
Right. And I looked through the window that wasn't a window there yet, and I saw my neighbor, the son and the father playing football, and I was just in the unfinished house balling. I was just, and so the older I get now, it's like more and more things about my life where I'm just like, wow, I really wish I had that relationship with him. He's passed, by the way, which is why we're talking in past tense.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, I really wish I had that relationship with him. And the older I get is the more I'm like, wow, I wish I could ask him this question. I wish I could ask him how this works. Wow, I really want to know what he said to get my mother. I want to, you see me? Because trust me, I would really appreciate that information right now.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then the thing about it is too, when you're raised by your mother, she wants you to see your father in the best light. She only wants to talk about all the good stuff.
Yes.
The stuff that will make you look up to him and see him as this great man. But that's not what I need right now.
Exactly.
I need the real. I want to know what he was like before he was saved.
Yes.
I want to know how he got to that point. I want to know the questions he had in his brain when he was my age. I want to, and so those are parts of the relationship where I feel like I missed out.
You missed out.
Because he's not here anymore. But what I really appreciate about the way I was raised and the church that we went to is that there were so many father figures.
Yes.
There were so many men of God to look up to, ask questions, who set examples.
Yes.
Man like Uncle Fitz.
Oh, yeah, me.
Man like
Hey,
Uncle Dwayne.
big up yourself.
Man
Uncle
like
Dwayne,
Uncle Leon.
Uncle Leon, Uncle Dwayne, all of
Trust
them.
me. Man like Uncle Wally.
Oh, God, man.
Trust me.
Those were like mentors.
Yeah.
You can look up to these men and you can see the example as what you want to aspire to be when you have your children.
Yeah.
You know, so trust me, you not having that father figure around, a mother can never ever take that spot, you know.
Yeah.
And that's something that we in today's society we run away from accepting and telling the children. No matter how much a mother tries to groom her child, show him the right way, there are some things that the mother cannot do that the father has to do.
Yeah.
So I see why you would have felt like, you know, there was a gap, something missing right there. Because, of course, as a father, if you had that father, you could say, yo, daddy, you know, me like a little girl in the corner, there's a, you know, show me some little things where you do forget, you don't get mommy.
Yeah.
What were the things that you said to mommy to, you know, get her excited and have you both together now? So, you know, I think it really would have touched you, you know, but I see you transition into a big man now.
Trying to.
You're trying to.
Trying to.
Because we work so a little backdrop. Ramon and I, we sang on various youth choirs, you know, combined choirs, groups, and we do duets, solos, and trios with Jace, you know, one of the best trios that we could ever find, you know. And I can tell you that so many times when I hear him and I see him play when he's in his element, he is just superb. And I've seen growth. And I just want to tell you publicly, bro, that I've seen the growth. Very proud of you. Never let anything stop you. You know, you got a little backdrop as to where he's coming from. But so many persons may look and they wonder, as a young guy growing up in the church, what are some struggles you face? You know, because they may see you now, you used to sing and everything, but they may think that you don't go through struggles, you know. But what were some of the struggles you really face?
Oh man, enough. We can go back. We can, well, we're doing some right now still, but we won't talk about that. I know
that bad.
For high school, high school is really where I started to shape my worldview. And high school is really the first environment I went to where everybody didn't really think like me. Because, you know, in like primary prep school, how you make friends is just, oh, this person sitting beside me.
Yeah.
And that proximity is enough for you to decide that this is a valid friendship.
Yeah.
Right? But then you get to high school now and you start to branch out with interests, subjects, sports.
Yes.
I started to form this worldview. And I know for me in high school, especially going to an all-boys school, and I was blessed enough to go to a prep school, to go to a public all-boys school afterwards.
Yes, it's a total different,
completely different
environment. Trust me.
And then growing up in a house with primarily women, so then you know I'm so used to this submissive kind of reserved
as well.
environment, and then to go into an environment now where the persons who are succeeding the most are the persons who are confident, out there, make sure everybody see them, you know, the tracks man them, football man them, you see me? And then when you then a first one and you see the sixth one of them, it's like
tall. You feel like a giant you look up to.
Yeah, and then the only first one was having a talk are the one them want push badness.
Yeah, man.
I don't want them, you see me?
You're right, you know, brother, because in them days, you know, youth were going like say, yo, me a part of the gangster crew. And them I get the chat, you know.
Right. And so for me, the conflict was there's this new environment I've been put in, but there's these values I was raised on. And it's like, who am I now to survive in this situation? And throughout my life, coming from high school to now, I've seen how this has been like a constant theme of, this is the environment I've been placed in, but these are my values. And so I guess my life has been a road of not changing my values, but changing my situation. And so in high school, because music is something I've always done.
Music is life.
Sports has never been my thing. But at an all-boys school, sports is
Monday.
That's your clout. That is your claim to fame.
That's right.
And so I forgot find the sports that Mom want to do. Wasn't exceptional at any of them. As okay at tennis. As alright at swimming. And then grades, I wasn't exceptional. It was just mid.
Yeah.
And so there's this pressure from on the school side to be a sportsman, a cricketer, footballer, track and field, something like that. Not doing any of those things. And then there's a pressure at home of you need to get your grades up, you need to do this, you need to do more in church. And it's just all these different constant pressures. And something I really appreciate that I'm seeing in society now is that people are so much more in tune to who they are and who they want to be. And people are so much more willing to listen to what that is. But growing up, that wasn't it. It was either you're with everybody, or you're the creep, you're the weird guy, you're the you're the one they pick on, and so that was a big issue. I got bullied in first form. Not after that. Not after that. No, man.
You just get it.
I started, and then it happened like for the first semester, and then after that I was like, yeah, no. This is not gonna go on.
No more.
And then so I was avoiding people at school. And then at some point I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that anymore. And I just And then I developed this, I guess I called it nonchalance. Like I didn't care.
No, not at all.
But it wasn't that. It was more of I'm gonna be me regardless.
That's right.
Regardless. And so university now.
This is where the test of time comes.
Biggest test. But going to university, it started out fine. I wasn't supposed to go to UE. I ended up going to UE. I had done SATs and all them things that go foreign and so. But my dad had passed while I was in sixth form and I was doing SATs and all of this stuff. And so a lot of changes happened in my family. My mom left her job. My sister was going to a school and then she left that school. And it seemed as if my whole family was planning to just pick up and move and start over fresh. And I was like, I've been investing so much time into my future. I've been investing so much time into my education, into my personal growth, all. At this time, I direct youth choir, I direct children's choir, I have graphic design business I start in a sixth form. I do solos, I'm doing all of these different things in sixth form, and I'm like, so we're just gonna pick up and go? And so I was like, yeah, no, but then to go abroad, I'm under 21, so a parent has to. My mom was like, no, I'm not signing it. You're going to UE. So I went to UE. And then I got to UE now, first year, go through. I made a deal with my mother. She was like, I'm going to pay your school fee because I would have gotten a scholarship if I went abroad because I did my SATs. I did the work. She said, no, you go UE. I said, oh, so I got pay fee. Because I did what I needed to do. She paid for first year. Second year comes. And she decided to complete that transition. So she moved out. And she left me with about a quarter of the school fee. And finals was in a month. And you have to pay your school fee to sit the finals.
Yeah, to sit that,
And so from then to now, I've kind of just been on my own. I had bought a car like 2 months before because I had gotten a job the summer after first year. Full-time job as a graphic designer. So I was, don't it? Because
for have the other quarter there.
I never even wanted the job, I never even applied for the job. So I was at home one day and somebody called me and said, hi, is this Ramon Murray? I said, yeah. She's like, hi, I'm calling from UCA. You have an interview on Thursday at this. And I said, she's like, yeah, man, we have you on our file as a graphic designer. I'm like, I've never filled out anything. But I went to the interview, got the job. And so I was working there, eventually bought the car because remember mommy said she could pay the school fee. So I'm say, oh, all my money is my money.
That's right.
So I did the math at the time and I was like, I can afford a car. I deserve nice things.
Of course.
So I bought myself the car.
Boy and boy are things.
Right. So school start back now. and the school fee stopped paying.
It's getting hot here now.
And I was like, okay. So at the time, I was making $60,000 a month. For those of you who are not in Jamaica, that is not a lot of money.
Yeah, it's not.
That is like less than $400.
It's almost like competing with what we call right now minimum wage out here. It's not a little bit over.
It's
that, none at all.
Not at all. And so, making $60,000 a month. Car payments was like $30,000 a month when I was living in Spanish Town. So then gas is like $20,000 a month.
Just left with 10.
10 grand for the month. I mean, I pay my own school fee now.
Ah, boy. So you not even have
nothing.
Nothing put in your pocket for say, boy, I can survive off of.
And I'm telling you right now, if it wasn't for some people at church, if it wasn't for like specific family members, because I promise you, Jovan, there's no way. I look back now and I'm like, I don't know how. And if you ask anybody who went to university with me, you'd never know.
Yeah.
And I was so happy the whole time. Because from before, and this is another thing that I attribute to my mother and how she raised me. Enough time within the house and she said, I don't have the money. Like she looked at me and Rihanna and she was just like, there's no money. But we're never hungry.
Look at next thing, look at God again.
Never hungry. And so now when I'm in university and the school fee, I was just like, it's gonna pay.
Yes.
I don't know how.
With confidence, with faith, it's gonna be paid.
It's gonna pay. And it did pay. But then things at the job start get more hectic. Start working later hours. Start being asked to do a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that. And then you're getting closer to your final year. You have more group work. And I was working full time.
Exactly.
And I'm doing school full time now.
Hey, that rough now.
So then the money is one thing, but then
to juggle both of them.
Fail a course.
Yeah, I said
that is summer gone. Then the job, they don't want to fly me go to Philadelphia. My fly gone, miss an exam, I have to come back. Me at exams department, I said, please, let me sit. And next exam, they make me sit it. So many ups and downs throughout university, but at no point did I ever doubt that I was going to finish. At no point did I ever doubt that the school fee was going to be paid. There was one time I didn't get to sit an exam because of lack of payment, which burned me,
Yeah.
And anybody from you watch this, I'm a bad mind on for this. I'm going to tell you what happened.
Yo, that's all right, bad.
No. Yo, I don't even hear this. Listen. I'm going to get paid the day of the exam. Because remember, I'm living so close. Like I have no extra money. Payday was the day of the exam. I got paid like an hour before the exam. But by then I'm already at school in the line to go in the exam. Get there, lady scan my ID, sir, you don't pay school fee. I said, I got paid today. I have the money. But if I go to SAS right now to pay this, I'm missing this exam. Please let me sit the exam. You know the woman sent me a SAS?
Allah, yeah, tell me. So she never cared none at all?
Did not care. Look me in my face. I said, I got paid today and me I pay my school fee. I tell her my whole life story. She never have business.
You are all classes.
She never have business. So then summer again. I have to pay for the next course again. But fast forward to now, I have graduated. My degree is over here somewhere.
Look at God.
And I graduated with no debt.
Look at that. Hey, bro, I have a story for you about that too, you know, because for me, I have a similar experience where I started out with college. And just when I started, I was told, hey, don't go the route of student loan.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? Never had any idea or clue what the student loan was about. But I already had applied for scholarships and I was thinking of doing self-pay.
Yeah.
So at that time, I just said, all right, if this was a very good friend from church as well said it, and he said, yo, just don't go the route there. Anyhow, went through first, second, and third year, went through with scholarship and self-payment carried out. And the good thing is that at the time, the deputy executive director at the institution was also a member of the church, very close family friends. I'm like, all right, we can go ahead and make a payment plan.
Yeah.
Payment plan worked outside of what the school offered. And I was like, God works, you know. In the last semester, when I was supposed to have completed my last exam, you know, and that's why it comes back to the part of how we're grown and we standing up to our values and the standards. So as I mentioned, you had different circumstances and your values was right here. For me, I had to keep my values as well, no matter where I went. So because of that, the cashier, he saw how I treated my mother. He saw how we were together each time we came to school. And you know what he said? I went to him and I said, all right, this is my final exam, you know, and I am yet to see the payment to come from the scholarship. And he's saying he's not seeing it yet, but here what? See a kid there, going to the library and you sit the exam, you know. So the flip side to what you had to experience, but when he did that, he said that...
It looked like I went to the wrong school.
Wrong school, you know. So big up yourself, Chris from CMU, you know, if you're still there, my brother, you know, really, really appreciate that. But what really happened is that he said this, he said, bro, I know you're going to come back to pay this, you know. So when I went back, you know what he said to me? He said, boy, Jay, check the system, and instead of you owing us or anything, we owe you. You know, so I'm like, that's look at that, because I went to a family reunion, the aunt was there, and she said, hey, so what you doing now? Told her, and she said, all right, cool. She was one of the persons who paid some money without I even know him. You know, and the scholarship came through, I paid on some, I was like, look at God. You know, so the young lady who there try to stop your shine from going on the exam, just know that God always find a way. You heard what he said? He said that he came out debt-free from that institution.
But one thing I have to say.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Oftentimes we feel like we have to do everything by ourselves. And people can't help you if they don't know that you need help.
You need help. It's important point,
because I remember in my final year, by this time I changed jobs. I was in a much better working situation, but I still had the car. I had moved out of Spanish Town by this time, so I was living on a friend's sofa in Legani somewhere, helping to contribute to the bills and stuff like that. And I went to a church to play on a Sunday. I went to a Sunday church to play, and I was just playing piano. I didn't think I looked sad. I was just, you know. And then when the pastor started preach, I went around in the vestry and I just sat down, and you know, the day I said, all right, I'm gonna match this exam next week. Oh, it's gonna work. I was just there in thought. I didn't tell it. I was just there like trying to say, all right, maybe I can design like a couple flyers. Maybe I put like an ad on Instagram, like. You know? And then one of the elders, but he's not really old, but he's like a senior member of the church. Came out to me and he's like, Ramon, why you look so? I said, look out. Him say, no man, it look like go through it. And the first instinct was to tell him, no man, I'm a good man, I'm go on, don't worry about it. And I don't like that day I was like, no, tell him, just tell the truth. I'm gonna say, yo, honestly, when you pay my school fee, I have exam next week, I don't know how I'm going to pay it. And I'm like, so I'm here because the church was paying me to play there. Nowhere close to what I needed. And he was like, all right, talk to me after church. And he asked me exactly how much I need. He said, how much do you need? I said, well, you can't just, he's like, no, how much do you need? And I tell him, and him say, all right, come to my house tomorrow.
Look at God.
He had exact amount of money. And if I had kept it to myself and said, no, man, I'm a good man, I wouldn't be here saying I graduated debt-free. So, if you need help, people can't help you if they don't know.
You know, I got two things from that a while ago. One, which is in regards to you. You see, when you step out in faith, because from the moment that your mother said that she's going to be leaving and you saw that this school fee is still going to be paid, what happened? It was paid. You know, in having that mindset that, listen, if you don't speak up, then people who come and inquire about things will not know what's happening. You spoke up, and it had to take your pride. You know, it had to take that out of you so you could be able to speak up. And that is what life requires from us sometimes, to come out of our heads and to speak. You know, and I've seen that happen for you. Just to transition a bit, where I see you right now doing so many things that persons can look and they maybe they think they have a nice, smooth flow in life, you know. But this is a background to where you are now. You know, since recently I was looking through social media, I saw we had a 90 days challenge, and I was like, yo, to get up every single day and to have that consistency, to do that, it rough, you know. Just to think about exercising. Some of you want to exercise, but what happens is that you just don't have that boost, you don't have that drive. But what really inspired you to do that 90 days challenge, first of all?
Well, quite a few things that had been building up. I was abroad for about half of last year, 5 months, for about 5 months last year. And I said to my best friend that that's the most depressed I've ever been. Like, America is so boring.
I can attest to that.
It's so boring. Because you see, you don't really appreciate Jamaica when you're always here, you know. The fact that you can just look out and there's a mountain. You can be anywhere on the island.
That's right.
And there's either a mountain, a sea, or a river in eyesight.
Yeah.
You know how much weekends me there for it, and I say, what me do for just dip on a hillside right now with a coconut in my hand.
Yeah, I understand. I wash off your hand.
Don't it? I'm just there and say, wow, the closest hill is like 3 states away. And then, like, among other things, playing piano was like a big chunk of my income, maybe 30% of my income last year, March. And last year, March, Andrew locked down weekends.
Yeah.
So then Sundays, no movement day, and some Saturdays are no movement days. So for me, that's like 40% of my income gone. And so, like, that is when I made a decision to go abroad that long, because I was like, I can't afford to be here anymore. Like, I literally cannot afford to be in the country. And then I was blessed enough to have a job where I work from home from before COVID. So then I could have traveled and worked from abroad. But now I run up the bills them in Jamaica.
That's right.
I'm not there.
You're not there.
And then I was with my sister for most of the time. So like, you know, she was feeding me and taking care of me. But trust me, to be over there and be like, I'm broke. And then I'm still earning Jamaican dollars. So that means I cannot afford anything up here.
Wow.
And it was just like, all these things were going, like, I just saw all of these different parts of my life that were just crumbling around me. And then being away from Jamaica now and having the perspective to look back at like what my life was when I was here, I was just like, no man, Ramon, you have to make a change. So I came back August last year, and then in August my first mission was get my money right, sort out my finances. I need to be intentional with where it's going. I have a whole accounting degree that I have not been using for myself. And I was like, okay, Ramon, we're going to budget. We're going to prioritize these debts. We're going to get rid of the big ones first. September and October, I just deemed broke months. And it was, anybody call me? I cannot go, I'm not going. Food in the house, essentials. What do I need to survive? Get paid? All right, what's the biggest debt?
That's it.
I'm gonna just start cross them off. I'm just one by one, and then. But while I was abroad too, I had knee pains from high school. From I was playing tennis, and then like there was a part of my life where I was doing gymnastics, mash up my knee. But then I weighed almost 300 pounds last year. So then like my health. Terrible. And then like in the States, I not eat properly. I Wendy's every day.
That's even worse. It encourages you to just go all over the place and just
Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, all the things, all the places. And so come back, I was like, all right, Ramon, get your money right. And then that's what 90-day thing came after, because I was like, the money was the first thing. I was like, all right, you need to sort out your finances. You're not going to be debt free, just like that. But bring it down to a manageable level. And so September, October, broke month. And then this is another thing I would recommend to other people. Have people who hold you accountable.
Accountability partners extremely important. Let them know.
So I have a brethren, him live up the road from me actually, him live up the road. Me and him sit down here in September. And we said, listen, because he had some debt he needed to clear up to, and we said, listen, broke month. Any outing? No. Anything extra? No. And at least twice a week, we check in with each other. Or you stay. Where you there? Because we had this thing where we're like, yo, we want to get to 0 because we're in the negative. So we're just like 0. And like his wallpaper on his phone was a 0. My wallpaper on my phone was a 0. You get me? Like constant reminders. It's like, no, we have to get to 0. So September, October, broke month. Nothing. And then November, December, busy because I'm in the marketing field.
Yeah.
I do graphic design, web design, all that stuff. And so, you know, November, December is peak marketing time.
That's
so
right.
then got the money right, but I still never outside. I wasn't, I never had time to like start go gym and like all the different things.
Social life
right.
also.
So then it was just, it was out of that period into straight work and some of the most pressure I've ever been under.
Wow.
And then January, I went abroad again for like 10 days. And then while I was abroad, I have a friend who reached out to me and said, oh, his company is hiring. And I was just like, you guys not gonna want me. You know, there's so many other people who are better qualified for this job. And so the day I got to foreign was the day the applications opened. And the night before I was supposed to come back was the deadline. And that night, I made my resume, did a portfolio, submit everything, everything the night before I came back to Jamaica. And in my brain, because my friend who I was with, is my best friend, he lives in Florida now. He was like, just apply. Like, what's the worst? I said, just apply, you know? And then like, and I was just like, but then I got to like do a whole resume and like do all. It's like, I already have a job. And he's just like, yeah, but having a resume is something you should have already, so you should probably just design it anyway. And I was just like, okay, fine. So I did it and I applied and I come back to Jamaica now. I get called for interview and I said, oh, okay, all right. So then January transition into the new job now. So the new job start, but then I was like, I still wasn't who I wanted to be, you know? And so that's what that 90 days really was. It wasn't just working out for me. It was being exactly who I want to be and representing myself that way. And the hardest part about it, people think it's exercising. It's not.
Because when I saw it, you know, I was like, yo, bro, you really are putting some heavy work in this now. Because I know you do graphic design and thing. So I thought like you were also trying to tweak your skills, sharpen your skills, while at the same time doing the exercise with it. So I'm like, hold on there. You really find time though to do this consistently.
That is it. The editing it every day. Because I know my editing program, Final Cut Pro, how efficiently I used it before the 90 days versus now, night and day. Because when I tell you I go in there, I know everything. Because every day I'm in this program. Every day I'm in here editing, trying to tell a different story every single day. And so it helped me to learn how I like to tell stories. It helped me to learn more about myself because not only was I doing all of these things and recording it, but now to edit it, that's at least an hour of my day each day. I'm watching myself.
Wow.
I'm watching hours of footage of myself. And so it's like I'm noticing all these little things about me. I'm laughing at myself doing foolishness. You see me? I'm looking at myself dance. I'm like, look at this idiot. Look at this clown. I'm looking at myself, looking in the mirror, posing. I'm like, you think you're cool, don't? You think you're slick. You think you're slick. And it's like I was learning about myself through the process. When it started, like the first 20 days, rough. Rough.
I can only imagine, brother.
The part about it that I realized for a lot of people, it's very hard to post online when you're not okay with who you are. And so what I found is that a lot of people posting online, they have all these conditions to post. The light wasn't right, I don't like how my hair was, I don't like how my voice sounded, this and that. And the 90-day thing forced me to get to a point where I was just like, this is me.
Yeah.
Did I look awkward here? Yes. But it's me. And it's like, do I want the people online? Do I want my community online? Because that's what it is.
Exactly.
It's your
It's a
community.
community.
Do I want my community to see me as a perception of myself, or do I want them to see me? Because if you're not okay with me, you shouldn't be in my community.
That's it. Because they're seeing who you are, the raw you.
Exactly. But what I was scared of in the start is that people wouldn't want to see that.
Yeah.
People wouldn't like who I
Accept
was.
who you are.
You know? And all the little awkward things that I'm seeing when I'm editing. So it didn't start out as me laughing at myself. It started out with me cringing at myself and saying, Jano, bro, like, look how you're fat, bro. Brother, I run, and you just see the fat jiggle. You see me?
I know
Like,
them way there, bro.
you know, I'm looking, I'm just like, Jano, you gonna post this for everybody to look at? All of the girl them where you like? Jano, and she just follow you last week too, you know? Yeah, I said, Jano, there goes the shot I was gonna shoot.
The opportunity
You know? I said, Jano, but then
I see it as therapy for you. Because before you reach to this 90 days challenge, you realize what you had to go through before.
Yeah.
So mentally, you were just like all over the place. You were at a place where you're the home, overseas, you're depressed, you just not have nothing going for you. And you want to come back home, you come back now, you're here and you're saying to yourself, boy, what can go on for me? You want to just get your life going. But now you are doing this 90 days challenge. You're seeing your flaws, you're seeing your good highlights of yourself. But I'm sure many persons were looking on and they were like, yo, I wish I could do that. You know, like I saw the days, I went on IG and I am looking through and I'm saying, let me see all the persons who are doing things with their lives productively. And you were always there every day. You could see that you're moving incrementally to the 90 days. And I was like, yo, this push me. You know, because you were looking at it from the aspect that, why am I going to show social media this? But I was looking at it from the aspect that, hey, I need to also put myself out there and make my niche, make my community as well. So don't focus on what is in the back of my head as to, I'm going to give people on social media so much of me, let them know me, but I had to be able to look and see what can I do to add value. And that was the encouragement I got from the 90 days, bro. You know, I know for sure more persons would have gotten something from it.
And enough people message me and say, you know, you inspire me to work out. I'm like, are you working out? No, you know, but I'm there with you. You know, day 50, good job. You know, just do it for both of us. Yeah, man.
Both, you know, so just to wrap up, after going through all what you mentioned, you had highs and lows, you know, and in life we have a lot of crucibles that we have to go through. But how did you pivot, you know, or navigate around those adversities that you faced in life? What are some of the things that you tell people as encouragement as well?
So the thing is, I'm not sure if my point of view is healthy, but I'll explain it. As I said before, I never questioned when I was in university whether or not I was going to finish. It was just going to happen. I didn't know how, but along the way, figure it out as I go. So it sounds cliche to have faith that it's going to work out, but it's more than that. It's faith, preparation, and discipline.
Powerful.
Because a lot of the times we want all these things to happen, all these things to go right, and we just expect them to happen. And so for a lot of my life, I was really just expecting things to happen. I was really just like, itago mats, yeah man, cool. The 90-day thing was like, no bro, like you have to put in the effort. A part of the 90-day thing too was practicing piano every day. And you were around when I just started playing.
Yeah.
Big difference.
He has really grown.
Big difference.
Trust
and
me.
So it's that discipline every day. When that discipline meets preparation, then anything is possible. And the faith is what allows you to push through. Because it's very hard to stay disciplined and stay consistent if you don't believe you can get there.
I believe that ends it for me. Like, bro, that was deep. Like, faith is really that substance, as it states, you know, that substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not
Seen yet.
Not seen yet.
Ah.
And so looking at that, you know, it just brought me to the fact that once you remain resilient in anything that you're doing, you can overcome the various crucibles or challenges that you face. Now, Ramon shared his story, and I'm sure that he has so many other different stories that you will be getting in life. And we have Test, which develops our testimonies. Don't hide your testimony. Share it. You may never know whose lives you will be touching. So keep on impacting lives one day at a time. This is your boy, Jovi Mr. Royalty, alongside my guest, Ramon Murray. Thank you for coming over. If you have not yet subscribed, remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you like this video, hit the like button. And I'll see you again. Peace and blessings, y'all.
They thought I was hopeless, but I survived.